What's going on, everybody? My name is Alex, this is Ask the Trainer, and I'm the trainer. For today's iteration of Ask the Trainer, we'll be talking about acclimatization. Acclimatization is just the physiological process that our body undergoes to adapt to a hotter or colder environment. In this situation, we'll be talking about adaptation to hotter environments because it's the beginning of May. That means it's the beginning of spring. We're only going to be getting warmer as we get closer to summer. So adapting your body to be exposed and exercise to heat is essential at this time of the year. Even if you're not a runner, adjusting to the heat in the hotter environment during the spring and summer seasons is still beneficial just because most of us spend more time outdoors, and that means in heat. So whether it be earlier in the day, midday, or later in the day, nonetheless, the average temperature we're exposed to is warmer than what we see in colder seasons. So even if you're not exercising outdoors, acclimatization can still help you enjoy your activities with less of a strain, of a physiological strain from heat stress. So some of the main adaptations from exercise-induced acclimatization are going to be reduced overall core temperature, reduced skin temperature, increased sweat rate, and an increase in blood plasma levels, a reduced heart rate, and an increase in sodium retention. All of these adaptations are going to improve your body's thermoregulatory processes, which is going to help the body dissipate heat in hotter environments. These are all great to help prevent and reduce the likelihood of heat rash, heat stroke, and to help prevent heat exhaustion. The general progression for heat exposure and adaptation to occur is going to be having light to moderate activity or exercise outside for 2 to 4 hours on 10 consecutive days. You're going to want the first few days of exercise to be relatively light, and then you want to build in intensity over the 10 days. So the first 3 days, you can have a walk run, for example, that's relatively light. You want to make sure you're also taking plenty of rest in between your sets or your intervals of whatever activity you're doing. Make sure you hydrate. And then the next 3 days, you can transition to running. And then the next 3 days, you can transition to maybe incorporating more exercises, more moves, and just generally increasing the intensity of your overall exercise and activity. So that way, by the 10th day, you've built up a progressive increase in intensity. So that way you can get the best results for your adaptation. Try to use your intuition to determine how long you need to be outside for. So whatever activity you're going to be outside for, whether that be doing yard work, attending sporting events, or whatever it is, use that to determine how long you need to build up your intensity of being outside for. So let the activity match your training, and you should be able to achieve the desired adaptation results, and you should be just fine. Once you've become heat adapted, you should know that the effects of the adaptation can begin to flee in about 2 to 3 days if you are no longer exposing yourself to that environment. And in about 2 to 3 weeks, the adaptations completely disappear. So keep that in mind, just so that way you know how often you may need to experience that environment in order to keep those adaptations. Heat adaptation is more important for those of us who live in the mid-Atlantic or regions of the country where we experience a wide variety of weather. So at the end of the day, follow your intuition. Let the activities that you plan on enjoying this spring and summer outside help dictate your training and how long you need to train outdoors, so it can match up with how long you'll be enjoying these activities outdoors. So that's all I have for you all today. Until next time, holla.